welcome to today's Quantum Body Awakening show. And hope you're doing well and hope that you can join me today. Today is April 2nd, and it's interesting to see snow here in North Carolina in April. I remember when I used to live in Milwaukee, I used to see snow back then in April, but I'm not used to seeing it in North Carolina. So that was quite interesting this morning. It's beautiful to see the seasons actually don't mind working together sometimes. I guess you could say that it's kind of like our senses, right? It kind of dives into the topic that I want to talk about today, and that is your eight senses. Okay. Now, whether or not you do have eight senses, it's not just five. Okay. So, we're going to talk about that for the next 30 minutes, and I want to share with you ways that you can start to develop your eight senses. And maybe you already have eight senses, or you have some of them. But I want to share with you today as to how these senses, these clairs that we call them, work together. Apparently, just like the weather today. And so I want you guys to say hello if you're joining me here today. It's good to see you, Linda. Nice to see you, Iris. Yes, come say hello. I love to see you guys. And for those of you that are joining, please do share this out with the community so more and more people can join us and join in our fun show today about the clairs, And so do share it out. Hi, Jean. Hi, Susan. Good to see you guys. And tell me where you're from. Also, if you'd like to share where you're from, the more you share this post, there will be one winner at the end where I will pick somebody that shares the most. So share it on your timeline, share it to other groups that would love to hear about today's topic. All right. So thank you guys again for being here. And for those of you who do not know me, my name is Deepal Shah, and I am a medical intuitive and healer and speaker and teacher. And I do train your body to overcome chronic health issues. Okay. Now, if you're not receiving my newsletters, I do want to let you know that please do sign up at anandaforlife.com so that you get all the latest and updated information. And, there's a lot of discounts and sales that go on from time to time. But the most important thing is that you'll receive 2 free MP3s if you sign up. So be sure to sign up or tell your friends and family to sign up as well, okay? So today I want to talk about the 8 clairs, and it really gets me excited because this is a topic that I would have never talked about, let's say about 8 to 10 years ago, because I didn't know about them. And I didn't realize how intriguing and how magical and mystical they can be, and how much fun they are to play with. Okay, I was always good at guessing numbers. Okay, I mean, I would love playing that game with my kids. Like, guess how much the bill is, going to be at this restaurant, or guess how much, what number's coming in your mind. We'd play these games with numbers. I just loved numbers, and I still do. Right now, even now, I can pick up on trauma, on other people's trauma, what age that trauma happened. And it's so amazing to me that that I'm guided and given that information by my guide team. But then I didn't have that. I didn't always have that. You know, there's times in your life where you kind of discover these gifts. And I don't know if you guys always were intuitive or had these clairs, but I didn't, and I discovered them over time, a long time. But so today I want to talk about those 8 clairs. And definitely tell me which Clair you guys have, because I didn't realize I always worked with 5 of them, but I came to realize there's actually 8 of them. So those of you that are joining us, welcome, say hello, tell me what clairs you guys have, what opens up for you, and we're going to dive into this. And remember, the more you share, you have a chance of winning a 20-minute session with me. All right, so let's see who's here. Hi, Zayed. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Lori. Catherine. Nice to see you. Tina. Carla. Tina. Hello, Deeple. Thank you for joining me. So share this out, guys. So let's start. So as humans, we're born with 5 physical senses, right? But then we have 8 spiritual senses. Your 5 physical senses are touch, feel, taste, smell, and see. Your 8 spiritual senses are clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairaudience, clairempathy. That's one I never knew that was there. Clairempathy. Clairsentient. I have a hard time saying that. Say that 10 times. Clairtangency. Clairsalience. Clairgustance. And I bet you guys have no idea either that some of these existed, but I'm going to go over what all of these are because it's important for you to know, because I have so many people that come and say, I don't have these gifts. I don't have that intuitive ability. I don't know what my gifts are. But when I explain some of these to you and what they are, you're going to see that you do have these gifts. Okay? So whether or not you're on a spiritual path, you have any one or more of these present, because you are an energy being. And I've noticed that most humans walk around on this planet ignoring their skills, or they're ashamed of their skills, or they even feel guilty for using their skills that are beyond the 5 senses. And I've got to tell you guys this story because I think the guides are coming to me and telling me to share this story with you all, because it's really, really important. Kids have these amazing abilities. They have all of them. But there are outside forces in our environment that shut them down. And I'm going to tell you guys, my daughter, I have lots of stories with my daughters. And I'm going to tell you this because it's so, so important. My daughter, who was going to a private school, really wonderful school, and one of the, she would do healings on the kids if they got hurt in the playground, or, they needed additional assistance, something, they were in pain, they had a headache, whatever it was. I mean, she was young. Ever since she was like 3-4 years old, she's had these abilities. And she goes to school one day and she's helping a friend out who had gotten hurt. And her teacher tells her that just because your mom does this, you can't do this here. And it made her realize that it wasn't something that you go around doing in public. That's how she felt. And it's unfortunate because all she was doing was helping a healing hand. And if your child has ever done that, please do. I want to hear from you guys. How many of your children go out there and try to help their friends who are in pain? Right? And from that day forward, she really has shut down some of her abilities, I feel. And it's not fair to the children. It's not fair at all. because they are very, very open to the energies. And now somebody has come along because they don't think it's right to shut them down. And now this child, of course, I walk her through it and continue to tell her that it's okay to use your abilities and help somebody, because that's what you're doing. It doesn't matter what people say, right? It does not matter, because you are being of service to humanity. And that's what you're here for. That's one of your purposes. And you can fulfill this purpose in many ways, even as children. I mean, imagine the purity of divine light that comes from a child, right? So I'm just going to look over and see what you guys have to say. Hi, Sid. Hi, Brandy. Hello, Ellie. Yes, shared. I don't know what my intuitive abilities are. Kayla, hello. It's sad how kids can't be themselves now. That's what's wrong with the world. Yeah, it is. It's very wrong. And Angela, wow, what a beautiful thing. That's a shame. It is. It's unfortunate. And there have been, that was the biggest instance where my daughter realized that this is not acceptable. I mean, her and her friends were all wanting to learn Reiki, and they wanted to heal each other. And it was such a beautiful community that they had built, talking about healing and talking about their gifts. And all of a sudden it was shut down. So, I want to let you know that if your kids have these abilities, definitely explore them, allow them to explore, but then again, also allow yourself to explore these abilities. I know Catherine says she's got these amazing abilities. I have Clairsentience, Clairvoyance, Clairaudience, Clairaudience, Claircognizance. Sorry, misspelled wrong, but you get the idea. I do. I know some of these are difficult to even spell. We should have a spelling quiz afterwards, huh? Susie, hi. I know I am clairsentient, clairempathy. None of the others have strengthened yet. Yeah, and maybe you're not sure that they are even there, but I'm going to go over some of these with you guys. Now, Catherine also said that this is what we should be teaching them in school. Yes, we should be teaching kids this, is to take care of each other and to help heal each other's pain, because that's all they're doing, So thank you for sharing. So for those of you that are here, please do share this out to other communities, because this is a very, very important topic that we're discussing today. Now, so like I said, we walk around this planet ignoring these skills. And I was one of them at one point. I didn't even know, But whether or not anyone wants to admit it, you do have 5 plus 8 other senses. So I want you out there to think, which ones do you have, even though you don't realize it, as I go over some of these. And like I said, I didn't have any, and I thought I didn't have any until I took my first healing course. And then I started to practice more and more on people, and so many more gifts just opened up. And some of them opened up in more depth. And now I help people all around the world with their chronic and acute health issues as a medical intuitive, and I love what I do. But I did work from a knowing when I started. When I started this beautiful space of energy healing, it was all from a knowing. And then it turned into a feeling. And now all the clairs are open. So I want the same for you. Okay, so let's see, what what are all the different clairs? Clairvoyance is seeing. How many of you are able to see things? I love seeing. It's, a lot of people think that seeing, it should be this long, drawn out movie or picture, but it's not. It's really quick. When it happens, it's like that, and you're kind of doubting yourself. So that energy comes in where you're like, did I really see that? Did that really happen? How many times do you tell yourself that? Did that really happen? Or I swear I heard somebody knocking on the door, but yet there's nobody at the door. Or I swear I saw somebody sitting there, but nobody's sitting there. Right? So that's your clairvoyance. You did see. Now, when you start using your clairs, don't get into your left brain. Stay in that right brain and know that what you're seeing is really happening. It really is true. Now, claircognizance is knowing. So how many of you have a knowing? So Catherine says, yes, the more you feel in, the more it develops. Yeah, exactly. It is a quick vision, right? And also dreams. Yeah, Catherine, you're so right. Dreams is another way of seeing. Okay, and some people, yeah, they see auras, colors around people or things. But knowing. So how many of you just have a knowing? A lot of the times when I have my class, my mentorship class that I teach, how to develop these skills, everyone comes in going, I just have this knowing. And that's wonderful. That's a beautiful gift to have. Okay? Clairaudience is hearing. Okay? Hearing is another beautiful gift. Susan says, I have a knowing. Linda says, I have a knowing. Yeah, I think most of us just get that knowing first. And so clairaudience, hearing is something that everybody wants to develop. It's like, okay, I want to hear things. And it's like, okay, well, hearing, is that really, am I really hearing things? Or is it a message in my head? Am I talking to myself? What is it? So hearing feels like you're talking to yourself. Okay, so there is no right or wrong way to distinguish between talking to yourself and hearing things, but it's almost like hearing voices in your head. And then you talking to yourself. Okay, so it's like a combination of the two. It's quite amusing. Tina says, I don't have any of the clairs. Tina, I want to help you develop your clairs, so I'm glad you're here. Catherine, I hear my guides, angels, and spirits, sometimes in my head, like a thought. Exactly. Sometimes like a voice no one else can hear. Exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. Angela says, I saw a flash when a friend posted a picture while she's visiting with her mother in Colombia. It's a historic picture. She said my soul traveled. It was a basic picture, so I was confused. Yeah, it does get confusing. The messages that we get will get confusing. Angela says, you're going so fast, LOL. I have a knowing the strongest. Angela, when these things come to me and I get so excited that I do start talking really fast. So I will slow down. But I'm just going back and forth between the Clair, the clairs. So I am just going between the seeing, the knowing, and the hearing. Okay, we're still just at the clairaudience. Okay, where you're hearing things. Now, clairempathy is getting that emotional feeling. how many of you feel, especially the heart's energy? The heart is the first one that will speak to you, right? The heart has so much information to give. And a lot of people pick up that emotional feeling because somebody else's heart is portraying that energy out into the world. When you're not feeling good, when you're sad, when you're grieving, imagine how much of your heart is pouring out into the universe, into the environment. And maybe somebody at the grocery store who doesn't even know you asks you, is everything okay? Are you okay? You know? So that clear empathy, I think we all have it, but we just don't clarify it that way, right? We don't see it that way, that it's even a beautiful gift from the universe, that I can feel other people's feelings, what they're feeling, their sadness, their pain, whatever it is, you may feel it. Clairsentience, yes. That is physical feeling. So you may feel the empathy with the clear empathy, but you may also feel the clairsentient, and that's the physical feeling. So things that you feel are going on in your own body. Okay, and I want to discuss this first because your own body talks to you. And whether or not you know it, your body will give you information before anyone else gives you the information. If you're coming down with the flu, your body's going to tell you that something is not feeling right. So listening to your body is really important, because I've been to the doctor so many times and they're like, well, we think it's this. And I'm like, nope, it's not that. I know it's this. You know, how many times do you go to the doctor and they're telling you one thing, but you know it's not? It's something else. So use your physical feelings, use your senses for your own body. Okay? Now, for some of you, you may be feeling something that's going on in somebody else's body. Again, clairsentience, physical feeling, something that's going on in somebody else's body. And that's me, because as a medical intuitive, I feel everything that's going on in your body. And I don't hold on to that energy. So if you're concerned that, oh my goodness, if I start feeling, I may start holding on to that energy, but you don't. Okay, let's make that very clear. Now, clairsalience is smelling. So if you ever work on yourself or someone else, if you're a healer, a light worker, a very sensitive person, you will smell things sometimes. And what I mean by that, that's how information is coming through you, through the sense of smell. Maybe you smell flowers and you're working with somebody and you smell flowers and you're like, I smell roses all of a sudden. And the person on the other end tells you, oh yeah, my mother loves flowers. She used to love roses. She just passed over about a month ago. That is huge. That's a big information, because you know that the energy of the mom is there with that person. And that is huge. A lot of information just from smell. Of course, that's not the strongest for many people. But For some, it is. And maybe you just don't even notice that you have it. So start to recognize some of these clairs, okay? Now, the very last clair, and I just want to look before I go over the very last clair, is I want to see your comments really quick. Catherine says, I didn't know that was a clair. Oh, I'm very highly empathetic. Yes, it is a clair. See, that's the thing. We don't know that we have these gifts, and we do. And so thank you for sharing that, Catherine, because it's so important. And Sid says, I feel heart energy. Yeah, so you guys do have these gifts. Zayed says, when my son was 8, I attuned him to Shambhala Reiki. A school kid's cell phone went missing. He got a vision of it being in the parents' car. He told his teacher the car was searched, nothing was found. He insisted it was there. It was found after the second search. Beautiful. I love it. Angela says, I had a vision that I got a call that my future teacher died in an Uber car crash, and I was the last one in her phone before I even developed a relationship with her. That is crazy. Yeah. See, so even Angela, her heart speaks to her. Ellie, I think I have a feeling. I get goosebumps and warm heart of pain. Yes, yes. You're exactly right. You guys are right on it. So I'm so glad we're talking about this today, because it really is important, and please do share this out so that we can share with the world that they do have gifts that they might not be aware of, just like you guys. So this is my favorite too. Okay, so, oh yeah, so we do have more than one. We have another one that I want to go over before, well, we've got the smell, we've got the feeling, we've got the emotional feeling, we've got the hearing, we've got the seeing. So there's more, okay? We've got the touching, okay? I want to make sure I touched base on all of these. There is another one that I just love, Clairtangency. Okay, now this is a fun one. Clairtangency is something that I had learned in one of the classes that I took, and it's the ability to sense information by touch. So if you guys have ever done psychometry, okay, you take somebody's jewelry, or even if you're sitting in somebody's car, okay, let's say you're borrowing somebody's car, you're just driving it, you will feel their energy. You will know a piece of their story. So we used to do this in one of my classes where we would, we didn't know anybody or their story or anything about them. And we would grab a piece of object, we would put objects in a bowl, we didn't know whose it was, and then we'd grab an object and maybe a keychain or a necklace or a ring, whatever, it didn't matter, a bracelet. You take that and you see what information you get. And that's a lot of fun. If you guys have ever done that, it's a lot of fun. And if you haven't, I suggest you try it. So that's another way of getting messages. Clairaudience is tasting. So sometimes when you get around other people, you might, whether you're healing them or not, sometimes you might get this taste in your mouth and you're not sure. You're like, God, all of a sudden my mouth went sour. What is going on? It tastes like acid, or, you know, it's got a bitter taste. Well, maybe they have really bad reflux, and maybe you're picking up on that, right? So there's many, many ways of picking up information if that's what you want to do. Information is so crucial because that's what we need to help somebody, because they don't always tell you the whole story, right? But the most common is claircognizance, right? However, most of you may may have that clear empathy, which is very, very common because that heart energy is so strong amongst all of us. But, you get these intuitive hits or these gut feelings, and all of it is correct. When you know something is not right, emotionally, mentally, physically, you know that you're on the right track, and maybe your friend needs help, or maybe somebody you don't know needs your help. So I want to ask you guys, if you're ready to develop the skills that you have, we can hone in on them, or we can start by finding out what they are. And you can do that in many ways. One of them is meditating. Another is asking questions. Another way is using a pendulum. There are many, many ways. But if you want to go deeper, I have a beautiful program, a journey just for you to help develop your skills. And it's about time to start getting information from your own body and helping others with their own chronic and acute health issues, if that's what you want to do. So I do want to talk to you about a certified medical intuitive program that is going on. It's going to start May 1st, and I want to invite you to get the information today. So I do have the link here above. You can click on the link and see what this program is all about and how it can help you. And then there's also a link to set up a 15-minute free meet and greet with me to find out how we can develop these skills together so that you can be a certified medical intuitive and develop your skills. Okay? You will learn some amazing things that you can take with you. And if you want to put this into your own practice, the reason I became a medical intuitive is because I got sick and tired of taking my kids to the doctors and spending all that time and money, and then the doctor just telling me, oh, go get the drops from over the counter. I have had so many instances where I have saved my husband from going to the emergency room in Mexico. He had really hurt himself playing volleyball one time. And then my child, my daughter, I saved her from missing school because of her eye turning completely red. And we didn't know what it was. So you can save your family trips to the doctors, trips probably to the emergency room. Of course, there is a time and place for when a doctor is needed. So I'm not going to say it's, that's it. But this is your opportunity to learn about your own gifts and abilities and share it with the world. So take a look at the mentorship program and the journey to healing you and your body and others, if that's something that you want to do. Okay. And I thank you all for coming here and sharing this beautiful 30 minutes with me. It is so, so important that we come together once a week and do invite all your loved ones here so that we can share all this information that we have. Okay. And I'm just going to look at some of the comments before I get off. And Angela says, people's hearts, that's difficult. Actually, Angela, to tell you the truth, that is one of the easiest. And we can talk about that. So book a 15-minute session, and I'd love to help you get more clarity on that, okay? Again, the link is right above for the free 15-minute meet and greet. So guys, go ahead and book your meet and greet. The prices will go up for the mentorship program April 10th. So if you do want to take advantage of it, please do get in touch with me either via email at deepalshah@anandaforlife.com or take a look at the link that I sent above, okay? Catherine says, LOL, my doctor asks me what is going on before even exploring what she thinks is going on. Of course. So let's see. I think this thing took me. All right. Catherine says, yes, it is so cool when you can verify the info too. Uh, it's like sucking on the copper penny usually, especially if a person has lung issues like asthma or COPD. Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah, if that's the feeling you're getting, and sometimes those feelings will stay and you'll notice them that every single time you come across that feeling, that person is presenting that particular issue at hand. You'll notice it's a very common thread as to every time you feel something in your body, it is the same exact disease or ailment that's going on in somebody else's. So thank you for sharing that, Catherine. All right, guys, have a wonderful, beautiful day. Much love. Please do share, and do join me next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Thank you for being here. Namaste.